Hey everyone, buckle up because we're diving into a story that's going to stay with you. We're talking Ask and You Shall Receive. And trust me, this is not your grandma's fairy tale. It's about this kid, Jake, stuck in a seriously creepy house who makes a wish. And let's just say it goes very, very wrong.
See, that's the thing about these kinds of stories, right? They take something we think we know and twist it, make it unsettling. We've all heard, be careful what you wish for. But this story shows you why.
Yeah, this isn't some monkey's paw, be careful kind of thing. It feels deeper.
Absolutely. It uses horror to make you think about something we all struggle with. Wanting connection, but also craving being alone, how those two things fight each other.
Okay, so break it down for us. The story starts with Jake, totally bored teenager, stuck in his Uncle Richard's place. It's raining, he's got nothing to do. Classic setup. But this house, it's not your typical relative's house. Think dusty furniture, weird smells, the kind of place that makes you think, what's been going on here?
Like the whole place is hiding a secret, right? Like the author took that saying, skeletons in the closet, and turned it up to 11. You said it, classic setup. But in this case, the house itself becomes a character.
And in this house, among all the weird stuff, Jake stumbles upon this statue, ancient-looking thing. But get this, it whispers to him.
Whispering statue, man, that gets me every time. It's like tapping into that primal fear we all have, the fear of the unknown, you know? Like what happens when the things around us, the everyday objects, suddenly come alive?
And Jake does what anyone would do with a talking statue. Makes a wish, of course. Wishes to not be bored. Sounds harmless enough, right?
All right, but that's where it gets interesting. It's like those algorithms online that say they're showing you what you like, but really, they're just trapping you. It makes you wonder, what if we're so busy running away from being bored, we miss out on what actually matters? And that's when things get really interesting. Because Jake, he gets exactly what he asked for, just not how he pictured it.
Oh, I bet. He goes from 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds flat, right? Suddenly he's the most popular kid around.
Exactly. The story doesn't hold back. It's like Jake's living every teenager's dream. On the surface, at least. Everyone wants to hang out. His phone's blowing up.
But there's always a but, right?
Right. Because it's too much. It's constant. The story makes you think about how we're so connected now, all the time. That need for attention, for likes.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like that feeling when you're at a party that's way too loud, you know, and all you want is a little peace and quiet. But for Jake, that feeling, it never stops.
Exactly. It's like the story is saying, hey, we all need other people, right? But too much. That's just as bad as being lonely. Maybe even worse.
So what does Jake do? I mean, the kid's trapped in his own wish. That's got to be a nightmare.
He does what anyone would do. He goes back to the source, the statue. He races back to his uncle's house, desperate to undo everything. And that's when the story gets even creepier.
Let me guess. The house is empty. Like, completely deserted.
You got it. Uncle Richard's gone. The statue vanished. It's like the story's playing with us, you know, like it's saying, you want a spooky story? I'll give you a spooky story.
But it's more than that, right? There's a reason the author chose to make everything disappear.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that vanishing act itself is a message, a warning even. Like, be careful what you wish for because you might not like what you get instead.
And as if things couldn't get any weirder, Jake hears that voice again. The statue's voice.
Only this time, it's not just a whisper, is it? It's everywhere, like it's inside his head.
And Jake, he's desperate. He just shouts out, I want it to stop. Make everything go back to normal. He doesn't even think about what he's saying.
He's panicking. You can't blame him. He wants to go back to how things were. But as we've seen, magic, wishes, they don't work like that. You need to be specific.
And that's where it all goes wrong for Jake, right? He messed up his wish. Badly.
It's only then, just before he leaves the house, that he finds it. A note from his uncle. It simply says, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
And that line, that's the whole point, isn't it? It's not just a warning to Jake, but to all of us. How often do we rush into things without thinking about the consequences?
Exactly. It makes you think twice about what you wish for, doesn't it?
No kidding. And here's the kicker. It's only then that Jake realizes he messed up. He didn't say he wanted the popularity to stop, just for things to go back to normal. And for Jake, normal meant being bored out of his mind, back in his room, all alone. Just like before.
It's almost funny, isn't it, in a twisted kind of way? The story doesn't let him off the hook. It takes this fear we all have, being bored, being left out, and turns it into something terrifying.
It's like looking in a mirror, you know. We've all wished for things we thought we wanted, only to realize later, maybe we had it good all along.
But for Jake, it doesn't end there. The story throws in one last twist. Just as he is leaving his uncle's house, stepping back into the silence he wanted so badly, he runs into someone.
Okay, let's hear it. Who does he run into? His uncle. Back to explain everything.
Nope. He comes face to face with Jet himself, or rather, a version of himself, like a twisted reflection in a funhouse mirror. And this other Jake, with this creepy smile, says, "You wished for excitement, didn't you? Well, I'm here to take your place. You asked, and I received."
Whoa. Hold on a second. So not only does Jake get stuck with his boredom, but he also gets a creepy doppelganger to keep him company. That's messed up.
It's like the story saying, be careful what you wish for, because you might not be the one who gets to enjoy it. And that's what makes this story so effective. It's not just about ghosts and creepy houses. It's about the monsters we create ourselves, the ones we unleash when we don't think things through.
Man, this whole ask and you shall receive thing has really gotten me thinking. I'm not sure I'll ever look at a wish the same way again.
Maybe that's the point, isn't it? To make us appreciate what we have. Because sometimes the things we take for granted, the quiet moments, those are the things that really matter.
Well said. That's something for everyone listening to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. And remember, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.